his stories grow, stitching secrets we all know. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time, a spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square, buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses line so neat, friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time, a spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Sewing tales with every square, buttons falling everywhere. A crooked seam, but who will care? Iron presses line so neat, friendships quilt can't be beat. Patchwork of laughter sewn in time, a spool of joy on every line. We chat, we sew, we laugh, we thrive. Stephen and Walter, our life. Our life.
Stitch by stitch they weave the tale, a patchwork life where laughs prevail. Patterns clash, but who can tell? Quilted chaos suits us well. Stephen and Walter live on air, threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings, life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around, it's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air, threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings, life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around, it's a show where joy is bound. Stephen and Walter live on air, threading humor, they don't care. Teaching, chatting, pulling strings, life's a quilt of funny things. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around, it's a show where joy is bound. Pins and needles, jokes abound, sewing secrets they have found. Fabric flying all around.
Hello everybody, we're back from our private shop hop and we have things to talk about with that, and we just kicked out our guests so we could be on here with you. Well, we didn't really kick them out, but they probably would have stayed even longer, but they have a long trip, but we'll talk about that coming up. But first of all, let's say hello to everybody who is here we have
Let
things
me
to talk
turn
about
things
with that.
down so there's no feedback. There we go.
So lots of people coming in. Our number one person is Nina. Greetings from Charlotte, North Carolina. And Caroline is right on her heels with Happy Sunday, Stephen and Walter and everyone. Thanks for showing us your road trip. Now I have finally seen what the St. Chatty Cups Market and Cambridge Windmills stores look like. We'll talk about that. And she also says, I can't wait to see the haul on Tuesday. Yes, you're going to have to wait till Tuesday. Dana says, enjoyed your getaway tour. Thanks for sharing. And Bonnie is here and says, hello, Stephen, Walter, and everyone else. And Inez says, good afternoon, Stephen, Walter, and everyone. Dubravka and Al are here. We are here for a good chat, waiting for some rain. Beautiful weather every day. We had a lot of rain last night that came down
Pretty quick,
very hard, with a threat of hail, they said, but luckily we didn't get any hail here. And there was even a tornado watch up in Cambridge, where we had left from yesterday to come down here. Natural disasters always follow us after we're out, though.
yeah.
So, if we come to visit you sometime in your area, be prepared for a natural disaster right after we leave. Yeah, I didn't hear any more, though, about the tornado, so I don't know if it did any damage or if it touched down or what the story was. Maybe someone on here has heard. So let's see. Who else have we got joining us? Charlotte is here. Hello, Charlotte, and Mary from Virginia. Hot 92, she says. Here it is 26 Celsius, so that's about 82 Fahrenheit, 82. Let's see. Who else? Oh, East Coast Kim is here. She says, yes, we have the AC on. So hot here. Hello, everyone. And Charlotte says, your shop hop video was fun. Glad you liked it, Charlotte. And Sue says, good afternoon, Stephen Walter. I can't even imagine how much you spent on fabric, but you're now ready for many Christmases to come. Sue, that's for sure. And East Coast Kim says, are we guessing? Yes, you are. However, put it in the comment section, and or just keep it in your head. All will be revealed on Tuesday on the Idiot Quilter. I'm not going to tell you how much today it was. I am going to give you a little sneaky peek, but I'm not going to show you much. But Walter is, because he bought some fabric too. Nowhere near as much as me, but
No,
cooler heads
quite
prevail.
smaller amount.
Yeah, but he'll be showing that to you shortly. Dubravka says, for 3 years now, we've had no mosquitoes. We're not complaining. No, good. No West Nile. Then
We have mosquitoes, though.
yeah, we have, and we have West Nile too.
Yeah.
Somewhere in Toronto or Mississauga or something. There's been at least one case, maybe two. I don't know. Karen's here. Hello, Karen, and Mona as well. Good afternoon, Mona. Arda Burns is here as well from San Diego, and Judy is here, and Chris is here as well. Hi, Chris. Here for a short minute. Okay, well, short minute's better than no minute. Heather is here, and Faith, and Colleen. And I love the road trip, she says. Great road trip. Yeah, it was good. We had a good time. Gloria is here. Hello, Gloria. And Joanne G is here as well, and Pat. Good day to everyone from New York State. We had a bad storm. Welcome. Okay. Not sure what a welcome is, but I'm sure it was a finger knot that happened there. But anyways, yes, we probably had the same storm you had. It probably went through our area and down into New York State. In fact, one of our newer windows sprung a leak a little bit, which is making us a little concerned, and it's here in my sewing room.
Well, mind you, I think it was also because of the extreme weather. So
Yeah, well, probably was, but when you spend money on those. Lydia is here listening on her way home because Lydia just left from our place. We'll talk about that too. So many things to talk about today. I'm keeping you in stitches, but first, a drink. Like I haven't had one all day. Right. Actually, didn't really have that much. Had a mimosa, and I had a glass of champagne.
And I've had a couple of beers already.
And I had one glass of wine too. So that was it. So yeah, not bad. I was really well behaved, so to speak. Okay, so let us get on with the general stuff first of all, before we get into stuff you really want to hear. And near the end of today's YouTube, I have a special little comment from a ex-subscriber that I do want to talk about as well. You know what's coming, I am sure. So let's see. What have I been working on? Well, we were away since Thursday, so I didn't get a heck of a lot done this week. That's not what I want. Where is my thing? It's here. So don't do this, Mac. I hate that when they pop down. Okay, there's that, but that wasn't what I wanted.
Well, you
either.
can set it so it doesn't do that.
What, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, where the heck? There's what I'm looking for. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. So I'm still working on those Christmas poinsettia blocks that I bought as individual files, putting them together into a table runner of such. This is a possible layout. I need some more pieces, as you can tell, to finish it out. So it takes a while. It's coming. And speaking of taking a while, well, look what's down there near the bottom. That is the upper half of the fairy or Tinkerbell in the art.
She got a fish on her head.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, but it's not. It's a ponytail. Yeah, she's been fun. A lot of little pieces. Still a lot more to go. So I'm hoping next week I will be able to get her bottom
Is that
done.
supposed to
What?
line up with?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. So it's not a mistake. Ha ha. You thought you got me
I
on
thought
it.
maybe.
No. Sue, are those supposed to line up? No, they're not. It looks like Sue's. I've seen Sue's. Sue has the whole thing done. So she's ahead of the game here. But anyways, yeah, it's coming along. A lot of little pieces, I said, in this Tinkerbell block. So what's Walter been working on?
Not much.
No.
Oops.
Oops. Well, they can't see that yet. I was trying to get back to what we need to see. And where is it? That's not it. There we go. Okay, so let's see. A few more people have come in, I think. Let me catch up.
Deluxe.
Deluxe 110 is here. Hello, Deluxe. Was Inez in here already? And I said hello. If
I
not,
think so.
there's John is here. John pops in here to see what I'm going to say about his quilt. You already know what I think, John. Love it. Hate it. It's a love-hate relationship. Parm is here as well. And Randy and Sue Nebert are here. Tinkerbell's looking great, Stephen. And it's correct, isn't it, John? I didn't make a mistake on that piece, right? Tell Walter, John. Tell Walter. Suzanne is here. Dubrovka said, we enjoyed your trip very much. We took that same trip 4 years ago. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, it's a great area down there for shopping. The west end of Ontario, just west of Toronto by about an hour or so. Lots of quilt shops down there, and yeah, it's fun. It's fun to go and do it and spend lots and lots of money, as I did. Let's see. Anybody else come in? Soon Randy liked the trip. Let's see. John says Stephen did A+ work. He's just buttering me up because he knows how frustrated I am getting with those cut little pieces. Love you, John. Just don't like the cutting. That's all.
Stephen's tea.
Stephen's tea. I think she means Stephen is correct. Stephen is a god, is what she meant to say. Yes, I'm sure that's what it was. So, Walter has nothing to show you that he's been working on because he's been busy. What have you been doing?
I don't know.
I don't know either. You're always puttering at something.
Yeah, I know.
You're playing in
Like
dirt.
today I was cutting the lawn.
Oh, yeah. Well, you had to do that before company arrived. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about coming up events. Sewing with me on Wednesdays as usual. All are welcome. Links in the show notes. You know the routine. Last week's videos, Monday Morning Coffee with me, was talking about going on the road trip and what my plans were for that. And my plans were to be narrowly focused, meaning I was only going to buy Christmas fabrics. I stuck pretty good to that, but I did slip up a little bit, and I'm sure nobody's surprised about that. On the Idiot Quilter, talked a little bit more about the hunt being on for Christmas fabrics and why, and my plan to buy enough Christmas fabric to last me through 2 Christmas seasons, because these stores are not getting Christmas fabric in yet. Some are, some aren't. Some are putting out last year's stuff that they didn't sell, not necessarily on sale. But yeah, and I'm still not absolutely sure why the slowdown on that. It may be that the makers of the fabric aren't getting them out as soon as they have in the past, because we're in August now. Should be well way into your Christmas sewing. Yes, really. What are you staring at?
Nothing.
I'm nothing. I'm not nothing. Fine. Be that way. Okay, and on So Chatty,
checking out your meows.
my meow shirt. You've seen it before. You made it. On So Chatty, this week we posted our videos that I took of our little private shop hop. So all the stores we went to, and I was able to get shots of inside of each of the stores. Some more than others, but that I thought was good. We went to 5 different stores. And on Idiot Quilter next week, I'm going to take you through the entire stash of the fabrics I bought. I'm not going to show them to you now, but I will give you a teensy teaser if I can find it again. Here we go. So this is only going to flash on the screen for a few seconds. So are you ready for this? This is my haul from 5 different stores, and that's all you get to see. I will take you through them in detail on the Idiot Quilter on Tuesday, and at that time I will talk about how much I spent at each store and what the total amount was. So if you want to make some estimations in your head to see if you can figure out how much I spent, then write that down somewhere where you won't forget it, and you can check it against what I tell you on Tuesday. Okay, so Pop-Up Sew Day coming Saturday, August the 22nd. I'm pretty sure that that's the date it's going to be right now. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be. And so the link will be in the show notes of my videos the week before. So that doesn't happen for a week from this coming Saturday. So 2 weeks away. My God, we're almost through August. There goes the summer. Okay. So, meanwhile, in Canada, what's been happening here? Well, last week we talked about the WestJet. That's one of our 2 major and only airlines pretty much in Canada. They went on strike. Well, they had 1 day of strike, which was enough to throw everything into the toilet. They were interviewing people on the news about how it has disrupted their plans and everything like that, and how of very little help WestJet has been, but that's to be expected. I mean, it doesn't matter what airline it is, none of them are helpful with it. You would think an industry like the airline industry that has thousands of flights a day to all destinations in the world. I mean, in the modern world, you have to fly. If you're going to get to anywhere, you need to fly. And you would think we've had over 100 years of aviation since the first air flight. You would think that they would have improved their systems, worked out all the bugs in scheduling and everything like that. Nope, it just seems to be the slightest thing brings them to a standstill over it. And you know who pays for that, don't you? Us, the consumer, all the time. That's why people are not fond of flying. It's not the actual flying that people hate. It's the turmoil that it takes.
I mean, that's probably why in Japan the trains are so popular.
Yeah.
Because you just get on the train and go.
And it's bang on time. And when they say it's going to arrive at a such and such a time, you better be there, because it will. And it gets to its destination on time. And it's comfortable, organized, clean, pleasant. all the things that an airline is not. So, yeah. Maybe if you go first class, but the average person can't afford first class. That's for sure. So anyways, the strike is over. And it says, however, the airline and the union quickly secured a tentative agreement resolving disputes over unpaid work hours, allowing operations to resume. But they have not revealed yet, that I know of, the actual details of the contract and to the public. And I don't know if they actually will. So it's questionable whether or not in the wording of these things, they basically didn't get exactly what they wanted. And that maybe there is some shenanigans going on. In terms of how that's been presented to the flight attendants, the people on strike. I don't know. What are you looking at?
No.
You're sitting there staring at space and your head bebopping all over. Good God. You shouldn't have had that other beer.
No.
Ah, no. You can't have, no focus, no focus, focus. Yeah. Okay, so other things, mass evacuations in British Columbia. Okay, the wildfires again. Aren't you getting sick of hearing about the wildfires in both our country and in the States as well? I mean, in the States, in Washington State, there was one devastating fire that knocked out, I think it was 700 homes, and it was started by one guy. Luckily, they got the guy. I think they should set him on fire in a public square, though. Burn him at the stake. Because it wasn't an accident. He did it on purpose. I mean, what did he think he was going to gain? All those people he didn't know, innocent people that have had their whole lives altered, like majorly for the rest of their lives. Burned out of their home, their contents of their homes, their possessions, their cars, possibly some of their little furry friends and whatnot, consumed by fire. I mean, what kind of jerk, and jerk is a mild word for it, would do such a thing? What's wrong with him? But, well, the cops didn't shoot him on sight. That's one thing. But who knows? I wonder what they're going to, what kind of penalty he'll get.
Well, there must be.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, the
I
laws
don't know
that
what
he's
it
broken.
falls under.
Probably,
Probably
arson. But
arson, yeah.
But I don't know. What do you get for arson? In this guy's case, like I said, put him in the public square and burn him at the stake. A hot time. Yeah.
Well, there are quite a few other people who should do that sort of thing too.
Well, yeah, there is, true. But I guess, anyways, it says a fast-moving wildfire spark near Summerland forced more than 20,000 residents from their homes in the BC interior. Over 1,500 firefighters alongside international teams are managing extreme, fast-changing drought and heat conditions across the province. And, of course, most of this is being blamed on global warming. And yeah, I'm not going to say it's not because of global warming. It's just we need rain. We need rain. And
the areas that are getting rain aren't really getting.
No.
Don't really. Well, not that we don't need the rain, but the areas that need the rain
aren't getting
it.
Yeah. And then the trade ministers convene. Canada's international trade minister, Dominic LeBlanc, returned to Washington, D.C. to intensify negotiations as a pivotal U.S. tariff deadline looms. Yes, we have the dreaded deadline set by Trump. Screw your deadlines. So who knows? In the 11th hour, Trump's bound to say, okay, well, we're coming close to an agreement, so we'll just put that on hold. I mean, what's it? Taco Trump, or what do they call that? Trump always
tacos out.
Oh yeah, with it. So who knows? But
Trump always chickens out.
Yeah, but they are talking. That's good. But of course, they're trying to push negotiations for things the Americans want, not the things that Canadians want. And I hope that our trade minister and his team stay firm. Firm, fair, but firm with these things. Like, well, the alcohol regulations as trade leverage, okay? Federal officials weighed at ending certain long-standing restrictions on U.S. alcohol to secure tariff relief, though provincial governments have expressed a strong resistance. Okay, the federal government can't do anything about the banning of American alcohol from the provincial control boards for that, because the federal government has no jurisdiction. It's all left to the provinces to decide what's going on the shelves and what's not going on the shelves. Doug Ford, who I do not like, who I think is a Trump in training in some ways, at least he says he's staying firm. American alcohol liquor is not going back on the Ontario shelves. We'll see how that goes. But it would seem to me that, I don't know, is this a little carrot that our team is dangling in front of the trade people in the United States? Because
Doesn't really make any difference for us personally.
No.
Because neither one of us have ever purchased
American alcohol. And there's a lot of Canadians that don't. It's not like we can't get decent wine or whatever here in our own country. Plus, it's not just our country we can buy from. We can buy French, Spanish, Chilean, Argentinian, Australia,
New Zealand.
every country basically of the world, their wines are on our shelves.
Yeah.
So we're not going to go thirsty on any of this. So I hope they don't take the restriction off. If they do, I hope Canadians are smart enough that they will still boycott buying American alcohol. Oh, we have our yahoos who will do it anyways because they just think they're that special and entitled, or it won't make any difference.
Well,
yeah,
the thing
it makes
is
a difference.
that they'll still sell a bunch because the restaurants may buy some.
Yeah, well, you want to know what I say about that? If you walk into a restaurant, you look at the menu, and you see American booze on their menu, well, you don't buy it. Or better yet, I would boycott the restaurant. Don't go there. And tell them. Phone them up, make a reservation. On the day of the reservation, phone them back up and go, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to cancel my reservation because I have just noticed that on your menu, you're selling American alcohol. And that's not very Canadian, so I'm not going to be there. Bye-bye. I mean, if a lot of people did that, the message would get through to them. Because they're not just losing money on alcohol, they're losing money overall because no one's going there to eat, if that's the way it is. But you can't trust people to do the right thing either. So who knows what that's going to involve. I don't need that. I was going to put that up, but I didn't. Let's see. Now, according to Trump, Canada's in desperate straits. Our economy's going down the tube. We have high unemployment and all that. No, apparently not. Statistics Canada released its July labor report showing that Canada added 75,000 new jobs, bringing the national unemployment rate to its lowest level in 2 years. Yeah. The Americans cannot say the same. Oh, yeah, they spin it. But their unemployment levels are up high than they have been before. So, yeah. I mean, let's not forget, what's his face? Elon Musk fired all those people in the federal government agencies and the whole bit, left, right, and center. Some of them got hired back when they figured out, oops, we kind of need those people's expertise, but many of them didn't, or many of them decided, oh, screw you, I'll find a job somewhere else. So, yeah, just another spin on everything. I mean, fake news, yeah. Trump and his team are excellent at fake news. So let's see here. M's here. Hi, M. John says Walter's wearing my favorite shirt. The art.
Good, actually, that's my favorite shirt too right now.
Oh, great minds think alike. Okay, maybe you'd like to do an Art East quilt.
Maybe.
Oh, bite me. Yeah, you'd probably. Oh, this is no problem. Cut. So perfect.
What are you all complaining about?
I don't like the cutting. I love the quilt. I hate the cutting. Kim says the name of the last shop, the one that used soft and stable. I'm interested what the embroidery looked like. Huh? The name of the last shop. The last shop we went to?
The one that
used soft and stable. Oh, I know what she's talking about. Yeah, Dancing Stitches. Yeah, I don't know what she was talking about. I was trying to figure it out too. And I didn't want to spend a lot of time going into detail with it because Susie had so many things to tell me on there. That she's the owner or related to the owner of the shop. Yeah, she mentioned that she embroidered on Soft and Stable. And then she said something about putting the fabric on top of that, which I didn't understand. I mean, wouldn't you put your fabric on top of the Soft and Stable and then embroider it?
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't see your design if you covered it
No.
in fabric. So I'm not really sure what she was talking about. And she didn't have it there to show me what it was. So yeah, Kim, I'm very confused about that. Pat says, hi Pat, what is that yellow all about? I think you spent 900. Okay. Yellow? I will explain on Tuesday. Tune in. But just to let you know too, Pat, I kind of broke my focus a little bit in some of the shops. I didn't buy absolutely everything, nothing but Christmas. Came close, but there were a few, and that was one of them. But I will explain that on the Idiot Quilter for you. Kim says, I see all the portfolios. Yes, I found a source. So I'm going to talk about that on Tuesday. Oh, I'm such a tease. I know. Let's see. Pat says, well, the best bourbon is from Kentucky. No, we do not have the better wines. Yeah, okay, in your opinion, Pat, the best bourbon is Kentucky, and you're faithful to it. And I know you love your Kentucky bourbon, because you've told me that many times before. There are those of us that would say probably we don't really have bourbon. We call it rye. And I know it's different, because it's a different process and all that kind of stuff. I don't really think in Canada we actually have a Canadian
There is a
bourbon.
Canadian bourbon
Is there?
that comes out of British Columbia.
Oh, okay. So according to my encyclopedia of alcohol, there is one that comes out of BC. I'm not a bourbon drinker or a rye drinker.
Neither one of us are, so we wouldn't be buying it.
So we want, but I don't care how good it is. It's American. I'm not buying it. Sorry, not in this climate. And you know the reasons why. So, I mean, I don't have to explain it. Jeannie's here. Hi, Jeannie. And Busy 52 is here. Trump is a liar. Yep, for sure. No truth out of that man's mouth. Yep. Smart people have figured that out. And so is Chris. Everything's a lie with him. Busy says he doesn't have a moral bone in his body after what he posted about Biden last night. Oh, I did not see that. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, what did he say about Biden? Probably the same old, same old. He probably called him an old coot that should be dead or something. Who knows? John says, let's talk, Walter. And Susan's here. Hi, Susan. Joanne, the other Joanne, it says, Susie used her long arm to make the Weekender. No, she sandwiched it just like a quilt. Oh, okay. Joanne is one of the people that was in the store, I believe, when we were there. And so that's it. So she used her long arm to make the Weekender, which is a tote bag or a bag. I think it might be a By Annie bag. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that, Joanne. She sandwiched it just like a quilt. Okay. So basically, she made a big piece with Soft and Stable and the fabric all on it and quilted it. And then what I'm thinking she probably did, she probably cut out the pieces from that piece she had done. And so it all embroidered into it. And there shouldn't be any reason why it wouldn't embroider fine. It might be a little
Thick?
Well, I'm thinking, will it be puffy or more indented? More set in, maybe?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, might. I don't know.
Which would be an interesting effect. I'll have to try it maybe sometime. I mean, I have done Soft and Stable, made a sandwich out of it, but I didn't do it as embroidery. I just quilted it, did straight line quilting or something like that. And then, but then later though, I did embroider on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out okay. Yeah. Lucy says we don't buy American toothpaste anymore. Good for you, Lucy. Shadowwind says, hi, everyone. A little late. Well, we will have to make you pay for that. Shadowwind. Yes. I don't know how, but when we come up with an idea, you'll be the first to know. And hi to Lucy B. 7B. Lele is here. Hi, Lele. I'm planning on attending the Wednesday Zoom in the afternoon. Oh, great, Lele. It'll be nice to see you again. Busy says, I made the Weekender. It is a beautiful bag. Yeah, By Annie bags. Some people do not like By Annie bags because they think the instructions are too complicated, and they can be they're very involved, but they always come with video. for the most part. And I find if you watch the video and follow along with her, yes, you're going to have to stop and repeat a few times, but it usually comes out pretty good. I've made several by Annie Bakes. I haven't in a long time. Keep saying I'm going to do. I've got a couple of patterns I want to do. Yeah, not enough time in the day for everything that I want to do. Okay, so that was in the general news in Canada. So meanwhile here at home, well, of course, we had our private shop hop. And I've already shown you the pictures of my haul, but that was just teaser. I'm going to go into detail on all the fabrics and where I bought them and some other interesting information about all that on the Idiot Quilter on Tuesday. But in the meantime, Walter also bought some fabric as well. Not as much as me.
No, because I didn't really see anything that grabbed me that much.
But you bought some interesting stuff,
Yeah.
though. Do tell, do
So
show.
I bought some gray works. Everybody's familiar with that from Tulip Ink. But I didn't really have too much of the bear fabric. So I wanted some more of the bear fabric.
It's the polar bear.
Polar bear.
Isn't that a polar bear? He's white.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
White bear.
Anyway, so, and then I bought, so I have some similar stuff here. I bought some Crayola fabric. I have some that's more dense than this. This one's got more black in it. So I was thinking of combining the two to make something.
And where did you get these fabrics?
These two came from Windmills.
Ah, okay. Windmills is in Cambridge.
Yeah.
They're around, actually, the Western Ontario. There's one in Toronto. And yeah, if you saw the video that I put up on Friday, you got a feel for what Windmills is all about.
So I thought that would be kind of nice to have. And then I bought these two fabrics, which was the name in that one place that we went to in New Hamburg or whatever.
Oh, Quilting by Design.
Quilting by Design. They always have some interesting fabrics.
They're very modern.
I bought this. I liked it. Actually, it's more the colors that I liked. It's a blue and yellowy color. I kind of liked it. And
almost kind of spacey.
it's not something that I could find in other places. And I bought this other one. It has a big print. I'm not sure how it'll translate for a shirt, but it is got all kinds of words on it.
Oh, those are words?
Yeah.
I didn't look at it that closely.
Yeah, it's got pride and it's got all kinds of other words on it.
Hard to make them out. Pride I can see now.
Yeah.
Stardust.
And the words are difficult to say. It's got hearts on it and stuff. And I thought, I kind of like that.
So if a stranger comes up to you...
It came in all different colorways. But for some reason, the black and the yellow intrigued me.
Well, if you make sure that some stranger comes up and stares at you, they'll just say, yeah, I'm just reading your shirt, trying to figure out what it says. Any dirty words in there?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Then at the last store we went to, they had some fabric on sale, so that really helped me.
Oh, yeah, because, he seeks out the sales.
Yeah, so I did buy... it was only about a meter or so of this. It's Tulip Ink. It's one of the...
Oh, that's Tulip Ink?
Yeah, it's one of the... I don't know if it's part of gray work or it's a type of blender, but I wanted some of that color, so I got it. And the stuff that I got on sale was $9 a meter.
Yeah.
Right? So I got some screws. Screws and nuts and nails.
Nuts, screws, and nails. I got.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool. I like.
It was just nuts. I got nailed and screwed at the.
Yeah, I think it's really
stitches.
masculine shit. And then they had one with hammers and saws.
Oh, that's just too butch.
Yeah.
For you.
And that was $9 a meter. And
I like this one.
Steve liked this one, and I thought, well, I can make a shirt out of this for him.
That's what I thought.
And I don't know what it is. It's got
looks like leaves and...
Leaves in sort of a bluey color. It's almost like a wintry pattern.
I kind of like that. I thought it was a little different.
So I might make a shirt out of that. And that was $9 a meter, and that's all I bought.
So let's take a moment and let's have right now a guess how much Walter spent in total. So give you a minute or two. You can stick it right in the chat what you think. There is
Most of my stuff, except for, let's see, the Bear Tula Pink was 2 meters that I bought, and the other Tula Pink that I got was just over a meter, and everything else was 3-meter cuts.
So what was your total meterage?
Good question.
Well, add it up. You said what?
One.
Let's get them all down here on the floor. And
18 meters.
18 meters total. Okay. So Lucy's saying, don't answer her yet. We'll see. 150. Charlotte says 189. Inez says $321.92. Ron, the price is right. Judy says 250. Susan says 300. Parm says 450. Beverly says 250. Lele says 240. Busy says 245. East Coast Kim says $124.75. Mary H says 210. And Joanne says 150. Karen B says 287. You do know how much you spent?
Yeah, I spent about.
Okay.
About.
All right.
I spent about 300 altogether.
Okay, so who was the closest? 287, throw about 300. Susan's bang on with that. So, yeah, I'll give you a hint on how much I spent. It was slightly more. Yeah, slightly. Okay, let's back up here for a second and take a look at...
You have to remember, La Fabric here, it can go up to about $24 a meter.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff I bought was $20 a meter. So.
And let's see. Oh, Joanne says she uses her Bernina embroidery machine and quilt my fabric for buy Annie bags all the time. Yeah. I may try that at some point in time. Sounds like a good idea. Lucy says it's all about hauls on YouTube right now. It's a week after the Festival of Quilts here in the UK. Yeah, I've been watching those as well. Inez says the polar bear fabric, she loves it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Tula Pink here runs around $20 a meter.
Well, no. That's a good price.
Yeah.
Tula Pink can run as much as $24 a meter.
Yeah, it can.
Some places here. So, yeah. Susan says...
The 3 places we went to, it was all 20.
Well, yeah, and the fabric prices in general, out of all the places we went to, were all pretty good.
Yeah.
I think the most expensive place might have been, and it depended, that's where you got the great sale on $9. But the stuff I bought was anywhere from 20 to about 23. Mind you, some of it was sort of specialty Christmas fabric, so you would expect to pay a little bit more. But on average, I think most of the places we went to, it was averaging around $20 a meter, which isn't horrible, you know. Susan says, beautiful fabric, Walter. They will look really nice in the shirts you make. Busy loves your haul. And all the guesses. And Lucy says she has no idea how much a Canadian dollar is worth. Well, for the British pound, divide the Canadian dollar roughly by 2. And you have a ballpark figure about what a pound is. So
no.
Well, wait.
Divide a Canadian dollar. 2 Canadian dollars make a pound.
Okay, so multiply by 2.
Yeah,
is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
But if
so, it's 150 pounds.
Okay, but if you
150 pounds.
If you do it in reverse, convert a Canadian to a pound.
Yeah, it's 50 half a pound.
Which is divided by 2.
Yeah.
That's what I said. What?
No. If you can, what? A Canadian dollar divided by 2?
No, if you wanted to know, okay, 100 Canadian dollars equals how many pounds? How would
50 pounds.
Right.
No.
Divided by 2. You're still...
Wait a minute.
Not exact, but...
100 Canadian dollars is 50 pounds, yeah.
So you divide by 2.
Yeah.
Hello, math department. I'm not a math teacher, and I don't play one on YouTube. Bite my head off. Really. Moving right on. Let's see. Beautiful fabrics, Quilter. Charlotte says slightly a lot more. Busy says that's a good haul for $300. Yeah, because you said how many meters did you get? Oh, you're just going to check it now.
No, 18.
What?
Well,
You bought 18
I think
meters.
so, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's not a bad price. Judy says double Walter's price for Steven. Okay. Yeah.
But that's 23, Grant, that's 23 American dollars, isn't it?
What? Now are you
Yeah,
talking
Grant Neesham, $23 a meter is what we pay for 108 wide back.
in
But
the
that's
US?
US dollars.
That's US dollars. That would translate into Canadian to about $30 a meter.
Oh, hang on.
Okay, Walter's doing it exact. He's doing the exchange on his.
It's $32 a meter Canadian.
Okay, I was even lighter. I thought so. $32 Canadian. Oh, just reverse the numbers to figure.
You got to remember, Canadian dollar is different than a US dollar.
Yes, very different. So yeah, things are expensive in Canada in comparison to. Well, it's all relative, I guess.
Yeah, it's all relative.
Yeah. Yeah, Lucy. So your guess was pretty good at 150. Yep. And as says, quilting has become an expensive hobby, especially when you send them out to be long arm. Well, all hobbies, and you've heard me say this before, all hobbies are expensive. And you know, there's those people out there who think they want to get into quilting or into garment sewing because they're going to save money than buying stuff, you know.
Yeah,
like
I know. I've had
clothing off
people
the
say,
rack.
oh, well, it's
Jump
so
on
nice
me.
that you make your own shirts. You must save a lot of money.
Yep.
In fact, actually, I spend more money making my own shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Hi, Adam.
I suppose it depends on where you shop. I mean, if
Right.
you shop at a high-end store where a shirt costs over $1,000,
Well, yeah.
then yeah, I save money.
Yeah. But the people who are buying shirts in the $1,000 range from a high-end store, they're not sewing.
No.
You can bet on that. They can afford shirts at that price. They don't need to make shirts for it. They can.
Collecting snails is cheap.
It's cheap. Yes. And they're delicious.
Collecting flies is cheap.
Yeah. Susan says, I would almost guess that Steven spent at least $1,500 with the. Oops, that disappeared again. I'm not going to tell you how much I spent, but you keep thinking, people. You just keep thinking. You saw the sneak peek, so you could do a rough estimate. You know that, I'll give you another hint. Most of my fabrics, when I buy fabric, I buy 2-meter cuts. Lucy says, when I was a kid, my mother did save money making clothes for us. Yeah, because you could then. In those days, you could, especially on kids' clothes. But I don't think you can today with it, not with, as I said.
Well,
price of
like I
fabric.
said, it depends on what kind of clothes you buy and where you buy them.
Yeah. Hi, Barb. I guess we're chopped liver. She went for the celebrities first on the highs. Okay, I'm not hurt, Barb. Not at all. Inez says, I will try that, Adam. I live 5 minutes from the beach. Okay, so we had guests this afternoon. It was really nice to have them. Had to give them the bum rush, though, because we had to do this. Nope, they came for brunch. Our friends Lydia and Scott. Many of you will know who Lydia is. Lydia and Scott live in Ottawa. And Lydia is often on the pop-up sew days when she can. She's still one of those people that works, you know, for a living. And she's been to some of the retreats and things as well. And she comes here on the live, as she's already appeared here, whether she's still on or not, because they're on their way back to Ottawa. And it's a bit of a hike, about 5 hours or so for them to get back home. So, yeah. And but it was nice to have them here. And so, as I said, we had brunch, I guess, lunch, you know, all kinds of little goodies and things. And we cleaned the house for you, Lydia. Yep. Hope you appreciate that. We cleaned it. No, it's fine. Lydia picked up some of these very delicious cheesecakes in a jar from a small town north of us in Uxbridge, and those were really good. I forgot to ask her what the name of the bakery was or
It's
the
on the
shop.
lid.
Oh, that's right. Okay, the lid's in the dishwasher because I'm saving the jars because I think the jars would be good for other things too. But they were quite delicious. Did you like them?
Yeah, they were good.
What, you're not going to complain they were too sweet for you?
No,
A lot of sugar in them. Yep, but sugar makes it good. Um, yep, so we had a nice time. Sat out on the deck. Uh, ate out there. Was nice. I'm glad it didn't rain. I was worried about that all week, but the forecast said that it was going to rain on Saturday, but it wasn't supposed to rain today, and they for once they got it right. So that was nice. And yeah, had a really nice visit with them. And let's see. Do you? Oh, and Barb says, and lastly, hi, Stephen and Walter. I'm not talking to Barb anymore. I'm going to ignore her. She's insulting us. Yeah, that's what it is. Fine. Last. You could have at least said it last but not least to cushion the blow. Busy says, do you buy impulsively or always have an idea of what it is for?
no, I never have an idea what it's for. I just buy it because I like it.
I have changed the way I buy fabric now. When I first got into quilting, everything was spectacular, and I would just be yanking it off the shelves and loading it up. Cut me 2 of this, cut me 2 of this, cut me 2 meters of this. And people would walk up to me and go, so what are you doing with all this fabric? And I said, I don't know. It's pretty. But my shelves are full now. I don't know where I'm going to put the stash that I bought. And I'm serious about that. But I have now started to limit myself to buying just, for a definite project I have in mind or something that I think I'm going to do rather than, oh, that's pretty, take it. But also, I have so much fabric. There is very little I have seen lately out there that really turns my crank. And with the cost of fabric now going up all the time, you kind of think twice, at least I do, about, if I get 2 meters of that at 20, do I want to spend $40 on 2 meters of fabric that I'm thinking might be okay? Like, I want to be sure. It's got to really get me excited for that kind of thing. Also, I need to shop my stash, and you hear people talk about that all the time, but quite seriously, I have fabric that I bought several years ago that I really fell in love with, and I still like it, but I didn't have a plan for it, and so there it sits. And then when I start a new pattern, I start to look at my stash and I go, oh, I don't see anything that's really going to work. I need to go shopping. I think that's more of an excuse than anything else. I should make it work. So yeah, I'm not as an impulsive buyer as I used to be. Good thing. But it felt like the old days
Well,
this weekend.
I wasn't going to buy anything.
Yeah.
But when he's buying stuff, it's hard to resist to buy stuff.
Oh, so I'm an enabler, you're saying?
Yeah, so there were a couple of things that I thought were unique that I hadn't seen before. And I thought, well, I'll get it. And a couple of the items I bought because they were a good price. So,
see, I think there's the difference between the way Walter shops as a garment sewer and the way I shop as a quilter. With a quilter, you're not happy with only one fabric. You buy one fabric, it leads to another one because you need a coordinating fabric. And then you need a background fabric. And then maybe you need a couple of coordinating fabrics or a focal fabric. And it goes on and on and on. You buy something for a shirt, it's one fabric. You're just buying 3 meters of it. Unless you're going to be like Adam and do the two-tone look.
yeah.
They can get, which Walter says he's going to do at some point because he was inspired by Adam's wolf shirt, which is gorgeous. With that,
I have done that on a couple of shirts where I made the color a different color or whatever.
yeah. But I mean, Adam did that whole piece with the wolf. Like he really took advantage of the print.
Well, I think at the time, Adam only had a bunch of fat quarters to work with.
Well, maybe necessity.
He said he had small pieces. So.
Yeah. Adam says, you are rehoming it, Stephen, so it doesn't get abandoned. Okay, that's one way to look at it, Adam. Anything to rationalize. He says, I'm curating a one-of-a-kind collection. Yeah. Lucy says, we've been eating in our courtyard. It's been lovely and warm here. Glad you're enjoying your garden too. Yeah, we get so little summer in Canada, and it's kind of sad to think we're already into August, and we haven't really sat out a lot on our deck. We have a couple of nights, had dinner out there and that kind of thing, and a few drinks and whatnot, and which it is very nice to be out there. It'll all go away very soon, unfortunately. Busy says it's been 38 here for the past week and it's almost too hot to be eating outside. Well, that's the other problem. We have a western exposure, and you can sometimes fry an egg on the boards of our deck with that out there. It's like you can't go out there in bare feet because it's like standing in a burning pit
Well,
of
I've
coals.
been out there with my sock feet, and sometimes
You'll
it's
go
too
right
hot.
through. Yeah. Judy says, my granddaughter opened a closet looking for something and found my stash of fabrics. Brings out a stack and wants a quilt made with it. Well, there you go, Judy. You have a purpose for it. Lucy says, why not make a large star as a quilt? You mean like a lone star? I have done that before. Actually, a couple of times in different styles of it. Or do you mean actually make it a star shape? Which would be tricky, but possible. And that says, we are all still waiting for summer here. Oh, yeah, you guys
Yeah,
have had a
well,
cold.
Out there, do you ever get summer?
Yeah, do you ever get summer, Inez? Like, Susan says it's been too hot and humid to sit outdoors before 8 p.m. Yeah. And Busy says, yes, that's how it is in southern New Brunswick, too. Okay, well, but here, listen, people.
Isn't it proper? The Canadians, all they do is complain about the weather. Oh, it's too hot in the summer.
Oh, it's too cold
it's
in
too
the
cold
winter.
in the winter.
Oh, there's too much
too
construction.
snow.
Yeah, we're never happy. We're only happy when we're bitching about the weather. Barb says we had a major thunderstorm last night in Calgary. The power went out at 1:30 a.m. and was off for about 50 minutes. All the surrounding houses around me. Yeah, we had a bump in the power too that kicked out the internet, and it took me about half an hour to get things back up and running again, which makes you wonder where with our provider, whether it's a fault of our provider and just be patient, or it's your own equipment in your house. You don't know. And they have a thing on, like our provider is Bell Canada. They have a thing on the internet where you can find out about outages in your area. And last night said there wasn't any. But there was. It eventually everything got rebooted and started up again, and everything's been fine. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, you realize how dependent you are to your connection to the internet, because everything these days runs off through the internet, streaming, the whole bit. Even your apps for your lights and your appliances and things like that, you kind of forget. How do I turn these back on? What? Wall switch? What's that? And that says maybe a week in total, Walter. Everything else is perfect except weather. Lucy says, I love shirts with hidden fabric underneath and the cuff linings. Oh, yes. Yeah, they have a really neat look to them. Randy says, Walter, have you tried making a full 2 or 3 piece suit? Ooh.
No. Brendan, the guy that taught me how to sew, he has done suits, and I have no desire to do that. And plus, I don't have really anywhere to wear them.
No, we don't wear suits anymore. In fact, I'm sure I can't get into any of my suit jackets.
I used to wear a suit every day to work for when I first started working, but I don't really like wearing suits now.
No. So let's change topic a little bit and talk about our week or our couple of days in Conestoga, in Cambridge, Ontario, and we stayed at the college.
If you ever watched Handmaid's Tale, most of that was filmed in Cambridge.
Yeah, in Cambridge area. So we stayed at the college residence, Conestoga College. We have stayed there before. We haven't been there for quite a while. At one point every summer, we were making a little trip into that area to do fabric shopping, and we would stay at the Conestoga College residence. Now, when it's the summertime and there aren't any students, they opened this up as a hotel. It's kind of a no thrills, no frills kind of, no thrills, no frills kind of setup, but it's clean. It's comfortable enough. It has certain amenities, like the room we were in had a smart TV that was really dumb to try and hook up to our devices, but we eventually figured it out.
Yeah, and it was actually a big screen.
Yeah, it was. It has, a full-size refrigerator. It has a microwave, a kitchen sink, and sort of a kitchenette area. The bathroom is a good size and, has everything that you need in a bathroom. So it's fairly comfortable. But like I said, you're not getting a fancy lobby or a pool or a bar downstairs or something like that. It's a college residence. But it's also half the price of a hotel room in Cambridge, too. For 2 nights, what did it cost us?
Well, it was about 140 a night, so
So 280.
280. Yeah,
Yeah.
if we stayed in a hotel, it would have been a couple $100 more.
Yeah. So, you save a little money, and after all, it's only a place we needed to go to sleep, kind of a deal. So, because we're out and about all throughout the day. So that was fine, except we had a little problem that we've never experienced there before. So, at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I was awakened by voices. Now, at first,
And I was awakened by Stephen.
okay, we'll come to that. Walter was snoring away, and usually I'm a fairly sound sleeper. Like little things like that don't wake me up, but this was fairly loud, and at first I thought it was in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And my bed was closest to the door, kind of a thing out in the hallway. And it sounded like it was coming from the hallway. And I thought, okay, it's some people coming in late or whatever. It looked like a basketball team, or there were young people there that were there for a basketball clinic or something like that. And, young people, they're probably out having fun. And I figure, it'll disappear in a moment. Once they go into their room. Well, it didn't. But then I realized it wasn't coming from out in the hallways. It was coming from outside the window. We were on the ground floor, our room. And the window to our room faced out to the parking lot. And I heard these voices, and there were 3 voices. And they were kind of on the loud side. Now, I'm not going to say that they might have had a few drinks or not. I don't think they really did. They didn't sound like they were slurring words and being obnoxious, but they were loud. So I thought, okay, I took a peek around the curtain. One guy had a vape with him, so I thought, okay, they're out there for a smoke or something. They'll probably be out there for maybe 10 minutes, and then they'll go back in. Oh, no. No. They were still there at 4:15 in the morning, and I was awake for all of it. So, now you don't know what you should do in a situation like that. Do I bang on the window? Hey, you're like people trying to sleep. And you don't know, oh, you old man, and they pull out a gun and blow you away. Well, it is Canada. Doesn't happen that often. But, whatever. You don't need that kind of conflict, especially just in case they might have had something to drink, Well, there was a phone in our room. Took me a minute to figure out how to use it.
Phone.
Yeah, landline. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. So I figured, okay, I'll call down to the front desk, since there's probably a night person on the desk, and say, hey, look, there's these people outside of our room, outside by our window, and they're talking really loud and it's keeping us awake. Can you do something about it? So I picked up the phone, and, usually on those kind of phones, you dial 0 to get the front desk. And I did, and I got a busy signal. Okay, I hung it up, pushed another number, pushed several different numbers, and same thing. Well, this thing's not working. So I thought, what am I going to do? Well, I had my cell phone, of course. So I went on the internet, found the number for the residence, and called it. It went immediately to voicemail. So I said, I'm in room 115, or 117. That was the room we were in, yeah. 117, and there's some guys. Now there was only 2 guys, but the one guy who was the loudest was still there. He was the vapor. And I said, there are 2 gentlemen that have been standing outside our window to our room, and they're talking very loudly, and they have been talking that way since 3 o'clock this morning, and it is now 4:15, and I can't get to sleep. So, can you do something about this? And then I hung up. I got a phone call within 30 seconds back on the phone that gave me the busy signal. And it was the front desk. And this lady on there, she said, "So sorry, sir, that you're being disturbed. I can't go out and check them because I'm not allowed to. But I will call security and have someone at some point go out there and basically shoo them away," kind of thing. But she was a little indefinite as to where the security people were at that moment in time. And I said,
I was a little concerned about, well, the front desk doesn't have any access to call the security.
yeah, like, what's this all about? Kind of a thing. So I said, "So how will I know that you have contacted security and that they're on their way? If it's going," like I said, "I really don't want to wait another hour for this to happen. I want sleep." And she said, "Well, just keep an eye out. It's 4:15 in the morning, and I'm supposed to keep an eye out for maybe a security person that'll come or not." And these guys weren't making any effort to move. So I thought, oh no, I've had it. So I said to Walter, "I'm going to throw on my clothes and I'm going down to the main desk." So I did. Now, she was talking to another guy at the counter at the time, but they both saw me coming. And I probably had that look I get on my face when I'm on a mission and someone's going to die. I like to call it teacher mode. So I went up and it says, "Hi, I'm the guy who just called down a few minutes ago. But oh yeah, they're gone now." And they were. Yeah, we and the other guy standing there, he says, "Yeah," he says, "I'm the manager." I went out and told them what the problem was, and yeah, they're gone. I said, "Okay, well, thank you for doing that. The thing is," I said, "I have stayed here before and never had this problem, and I'm really concerned about, like, do you have security people?" "Well, we have a couple of guys," she say, "that check, irregularly, infrequently." That was where she, infrequently. And I'm thinking, well, I said, "Well, we know that there's been a problem in the past with your parking lot," which is where these guys were, "with stolen cars, taking them." Said, "Yeah, that's been unfortunate." Unfortunate. Okay, you're running the residence like a hotel. There's certain standards that, our laws say if you're going to run a hotel, you have to obey. And I said, well, they said, "But if you have any other problems or anything, you just call down here to the desk." And I said, "Well, that's what I tried to do. I had to call you using my cell phone and the number I found on the internet because the phone in the room doesn't seem to work. I don't know what number." "Oh, you just dial 700. And I said, "And I would know this how? Where is that written?" There's nothing in our room that says that. You know how you go into a hotel room and there'll be something laminated or in a booklet sitting on a table and it tells you all about.
Well, I looked at the card holder they gave me for where the cards were in.
Yeah.
And they said there was no indication of any kind of,
There's nothing.
"Call this number if you have a problem."
No. So I said, oh, and they went, "Oh, uh-huh." And, I said, "There's usually something on the doors or whatever in case there's a fire."
Didn't you say one of the guys said they don't publish that?
Oh, yeah. He said to me, "Oh, yeah, we don't publish it." And I looked at him and said,
what-
"So how would I know how to call you?" Had them stumped there. They didn't really say anything. I said, what I'm concerned about is not only the lack of security, but what if there's a fire? There's nothing on the door to show where the escape routes are. Oh, that was met with, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Well, anyways," they go, "Well, we're really sorry for this, sir. Okay, fine. What am I going to do at that point?" Back of my mind, I was kind of hoping the next day that they would say, "We're so sorry, sir, for last night with that, and so we're going to take $50 off your bill."
Yeah, right.
That didn't happen. Yeah, I didn't ask for anything like that or whatever, but maybe I should have. I don't know. Squeaky wheel, But I didn't want to feel like a Karen. Sorry, Karens that are out here. I didn't want to feel like that, you know, just bitching. But it was a legitimate complaint. And usually I can sleep through anything, but I could not sleep through these guys. It was like, okay, so we know how thick the walls are in this residence. Must be really chilly in the winter in this place. Anyways, yeah, so that was an adventure there. But you know, a bigger issue here is service. They're opened up like a hotel. Yes, they're a discount hotel, you might as well say. Not a whole lot of amenities. You know, no pool, no bar, no restaurant.
No ballroom.
They what happened?
Like billiards room.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Didn't know that. They had a vending machine with chocolate bars in it for, you know how much that chocolate, those bag of M&Ms I got cost? Almost $5.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they were for something.
Yeah, for something. Yeah.
Making money
Expensive
there.
nuts. But anyways, well, I'm just an old fart. My day, you could get M&Ms for like pennies. Pennies, I say. But anyways, so, yeah, and I mean, we didn't expect a whole lot of thrills because we'd stayed there before. We stayed there mainly because it's clean, it's located where we want to be, it's just a place to sleep, and that's fine. So anyways, but it's the service, and it seems like a lot of places give you this attitude. They may apologize for something. I mean, yeah, I said to them, it's really not your fault, because I'm sure they're not making the rules for how the security company does what they do there or anything with it. But they should have been checking. They should have been, the door was in such a way that they could see the whole parking lot. The front desk was located so they could see the whole parking lot. And I get when they say that she's not allowed to go out there. She is a female. It's night. The employers doesn't want to put her in harm's way. You know, because you don't know. I mean, if these guys have been, they weren't being really yahoo-y. They were just being
Actually,
loud.
I wouldn't doubt they were the maintenance. They were the security people.
One of them was all dressed in sort of all black, and he was a relatively large gentleman, like big as in security guard big in that. So he could have been. And in fact, Walter has another theory too that goes along with that. You think maybe the guy that was the manager, you think he might have been one of the ones talking.
Yeah, in the initial 3.
And he might have been. Because I couldn't see their faces. I only could see their backs. And of course, it's semi-dark out there. I mean, there are lights in the parking lot, but, you know, that kind of thing. So it is possible that he knew them. So there may have been more to this story. Because I was trying to figure out, okay, it's almost 4:15 in the morning. You started at around 3 o'clock. Where did you come from at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Or was the guy in the lobby that you went out to, that was the manager, one of the ones that was talking?
He wasn't the one talking.
Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure, because the guy that was doing all the talking, most of it, he was sort of stocky, little on the heavy side. This guy that was in there too, but he looked bigger than that guy, and the hair was a little different. The guy that was out there looked like his hair was a little bit short but spiky kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe it was him. But I think the outfit was a little different that he was wearing too. It's hard to tell because they're all wearing t-shirts. Except the one guy who was dressed in a little bit more. So he could have been. We don't know. But anyways, will we stay there again? Maybe. You know, I'd be more aware of this. I know how I would handle that situation again if it happened. It never happened any other time we were there, so maybe a one-off.
We weren't usually on the first floor, though.
No, that's true. We weren't, so I don't know. I mean, there's other hotels. It would cost us more, but maybe it's worth spending a little bit more with it. I mean, eats into what you're going to spend on fabric. Well, not really. Because I would still spend it. But, you know, it just got me thinking about the service industry. Because we were at a restaurant down the road on the first night called the Rabbit Fox. And the lady who was serving us, waiting us, well, she couldn't have been nicer. She did screw up Walter's beer, order, and we didn't say anything to her because really we could understand why she screwed it up.
Yeah, because I ordered one thing and then changed my mind, and she didn't probably hear me when I changed my mind. So,
Because
so I mean, it was okay. It's one thing.
Yeah. It wasn't, and she was very nice. In fact, originally we asked to sit out on the patio. Then it looked like it was going to rain and there was no cover on the patio of any, like we would have got soaked in the middle of just when we started eating. So we called her over and said, is there anything in there? She said, oh yeah, sure. And we pointed out, well, there's a high top table there in the bar. That would do fine if that's not taken. And she says, oh no, that's too small. I'll give you a bigger table. So she was very nice. And I don't mind tipping people that are that way because she was giving us good service. Now, we went to the Pickle Barrel for lunch on our second day at one of the malls in the area. And the service there was all good too and great, very friendly and whatnot. But I ordered a Reuben. I love Reubens. And I didn't start immediately munching on it because I got a salad with it. So I was eating my salad. Yeah, I'm funny like that. I eat things in order. So I ate my salad first. And I went to start, I took one bite out of the Reuben and I thought, this is kind of hard. Like the bread on it. And I flipped it over. It was burnt. High carbon count. It was black. Both, and I turned the other half over. Same thing. So obviously one side and the top part of it too was a little,
it was darker
than,
but it wasn't really burnt.
No,
but it was darker, and yeah, the other side was pretty toasty.
Yeah. So I called her over and I said, my sandwich is burnt. And I turned and she said, ooh, it is. And I kind of made a joke. I said to her, yeah, I have enough carbon in my diet already. I don't want to widen my carbon footprint. And she laughed. Ah! But anyways, off she trundled with that. And they came back a few minutes later. A guy that looked like he was sort of managing there profusely apologized for it and everything. And all was well. When we got the bill, and we really didn't notice it until after we paid the bill, they'd taken $10 off. They didn't say a word about it. They took $10 off because of that. Now, that is good service. I mean, I could have probably eaten it, but it was a $22 sandwich. So why should I eat something that's, you make do with at that price? And I think a lot of people do that. And I do it too, most of the time. But I'm getting to the point now with the way prices are on stuff. No, I'm paying for it.
Well, actually, I have to admit, I looked at it and I thought, I mean, I don't mind stuff that's burnt, but I looked at it and I thought, no, that doesn't look good.
No. But anyways, they made it right. And they went beyond. I did not ask for a discount or anything like that, and didn't even realize they had done this until I saw the bill. So that's good service. And now I'm telling you about it, so you might think if you ever get to Cambridge and to the Conestoga Mall, where this was, you might think about going to the Pickle Barrel. Because you say good things about places, people do remember that, and it's good business.
Yeah, Barb says it shouldn't have left the kitchen with a burnt bun. That's true.
Yeah.
It should not have. In fact, it almost sounds like they turned it over in such a way that...
They flipped it over so I wouldn't see the burnt thing, and they were hoping that I wouldn't notice.
So, I mean, it could be that the kitchen staff gets disciplined for doing...
Yeah. And just before we go on with this train of thought, let's see. Busy says... we have stayed at York University and also in Vancouver at the university there. Yeah, the universities do this off in the summer. It's extra income. And also, if they have a hospitality program, these will often be students earning credits and getting some practical experience managing the residence as a hotel. She says she enjoyed it at York. It was a complete apartment, could use the gym, etc. Yeah, here...
Yeah, I think you could use a gym too or something. I have to look at the...
What's a gym?
Amenities. There were other things that you could do.
Yeah, well,
which we weren't really interested in, so we don't...
Well, they're also not located in the residence. They're down like in the...
No, I think it was
in the residence? Oh, okay. Well, like we were going to use the gym, not. Um, oh, Judy says, do I have to hit subscribe every time I want to be on? No.
No,
Nope, you don't,
not
Judy.
unless you write a nasty comment and
And
Steve
then you'll
deletes you.
never get back in. No. No, you don't, Judy. Lucy says, no easy chairs for the students to relax in. No. I mean, there was a chair in the room. There was like 2 beds, 2 desks. Just a bug in here. And, a couple of rolly chairs for the desk. And I'm looking around the room and there's a big wardrobe. So the idea is, one roommate has half the wardrobe on this side, the TV's in the middle, there's chest of drawers underneath, and then wardrobe on this side. And that's about it. And I was looking around going, geez, if I was a university student and I was here, I'd never have enough space for my books. Then it dawned on me, oh, you old man. You went to university before there was such a thing called the internet or even laptop computers. These kids bring their laptops, of course. All of their books are on the laptops. They download them to it. That's what they're reading from. When they write their essays, they're writing everything on their laptops. If they even write essays anymore, get AI to write them. They do not need a lot of space to store books because they don't have any. So, even the TV set was supposed to be a smart TV. It took us a while to figure it out, but you can hook it up to your, wirelessly to your devices, like your cell phone, your iPad, or your computer. And I'm got thinking, but wait, the kids probably don't even watch the TV. Like there's one TV in the room. So if one wants to watch one thing, the other one wants the other thing, do they have a fight out for that? No, they have their own screens. They plug in their little iBuds or iPhones, earbuds, whatever they're called. And old man. They
listen to that tape.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, well, in my day. But anyways, so yeah, they don't need any of the things that I had when I went to university like that. No, in some ways, it's better. Yeah, less bulk, in it all. But yeah, but anyways, let's see here. Barb says at least a sticker with front desk call 700 on the desk phones. Yeah, I agree. I looked on that, nothing there. Surely the students, Lucy B says, need escape routes. You would think, but then again, can they read? I'm not sure. It'd have to be done with stick people.
Well, like we saw a whole bunch of them at this basketball team standing in the lobby, and there's an elevator that
holds 2 people.
That holds 2 people.
There's 30 of them standing there waiting for the elevator. Hello, you have legs. You're athletic like people because you look like you all play basketball. That's what you're for.
You can't walk up a bunch of stairs.
It's not like you're going to. This place is really, really like if they were even on the top floor, it'd be how many stories? 6, 7?
It might have been. Well, I don't think it was more than 5. So
yeah, so really talk about your enabled here. These kids, come on,
entitled. You mean?
Yeah, or entitled. That's it. Whatever. I'm having trouble with words today. Might be a stroke. Don't know. Anyways, So back to the thing about the number. Yeah, would it kill them? We did write a review. And did you send it?
Yeah, I did. I posted it.
Okay, did you edit it?
A little bit.
Because
there
was
were
it too
some
long?
words that had too much. You had some words that didn't make any sense in there.
Well, maybe you just don't understand them.
So yeah, I did change it a tiny bit, not very much. I pretty much copied most of it.
Well, I was writing it in the car on the way home, so yeah, it was a first draft. I just gave it to you to send, to do with it what you will. Anyways, not that anything will come of that, but
it's good to put a nasty. Good to put a review, an honest review on.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I mean, we
nasty.
didn't really say
it wasn't nasty
that it was a bad place to say.
No,
it was just sort of
said about the concern we had.
But we added the concern about about there not being any way of contacting someone if there was a problem.
Yeah, so if they're learning how to manage a hotel, I would think that that would be something they should consider. But who knows? Maybe it's a joke job. You know, students want to make extra money in the summer, they get it there or whatever. I don't. Well, they obviously don't run any courses in the summer at this particular place because the residents don't have any students in it. So, or maybe they don't live there. I don't know. Whatever. So
Karen B was saying, not sure if University of Guelph and Laurier or Waterloo does the hotel thing or not.
yeah, it might be. Guelph is my old alma mater. So, you know, I graduated from Guelph.
Kingston does it.
Kingston does it, yes. So I don't know. So it might be yeah, another alternative to try out. Guelph, though, is just that much further to the east of Cambridge and where we want it to be. Not that it's that far. I mean,
Yeah.
10 minutes or something, but and also where the Conestoga residence is located, there are several restaurants down the road with it. But talking about restaurants, okay, so we talked about the Rabbit Fox, and having such good service there. Well, there was a McDonald's, and we didn't have bad service at the McDonald's either, but I don't know if this is what all McDonald's, we don't go to McDonald's because I don't feel like
Yeah, we
barfing.
went there for breakfast a couple of days.
Yeah, well, we actually broke down and got a hamburger and fries.
Yeah,
Oh my
because
God.
that was the day we went to Pickle Barrel. We went for lunch.
Yes, and we were stuffed, but
And we were hungry, but we sort of wanted something else.
yeah, well, we weren't that hungry, but we thought we should have something else. So we got a hamburger and fries, and oh my God, I guess they make them from cardboard now for sure. It's been a long time, but they were cardboard. The French fries, I used to always like, everybody always liked McDonald's French fries anyways. Actually, the one thing that was okay was the milkshake. Not as good as Chick-fil-A's milkshakes, but not bad. But anyways, in this McDonald's, they have this cafe kind of thing set up now. And I don't know if all McDonald's go this way or not, but you don't see what you used to see. You know, you used to go up to the counter and someone would take your order, you'd pay for it at the cash register, and you could see them all making the burger meat, whatever that is. That's, you know, lips and assholes on there. It's 100% beef, but it's lips and assholes. You know, taking out their little hot trays and everything like that. Now you can't, at least in this one.
No,
You
it's all
have-
hidden.
Yeah, nobody at a counter waiting on you. Everything's the kiosk, right? Which I've seen the kiosks before. I know those are popular now in most fast food places, and we've used them before. And not a bad idea, I don't think, when they work properly. And so we punched in, you know, the brekkie, and we get a number, and it's got a board, you know, and you know what's coming up. Well, on the first morning when we got like an egg McMuffin and a coffee, the lady who was like bringing the stuff out to this little counter that they have, she says, "Oh, you guys must be 840 or whatever it was." She brought it right over.
Well, considering we were pretty much the
only ones in the restaurant, that might have been a good guess, I guess. But she brought it right over. You know, she came out from behind the counter and brought it over and was very friendly and nice. Because, you know, the old style McDonald's where they'd look at you and go, "Yeah, is that double cheeseburger, large fry, milkshake? Yeah, okay, that's $12 million. What, you want change?" I don't know how to make change. But anyways, but they're all very this cafe style, which is not bad. But then I also realized I don't think there's a lot of people eat in there. They have mobile ordering, you know, on your app on your phone, and they come in, they
Their
pick it up, and
drive-through
they're
is
gone.
busy.
And the drive-through is constantly busy. So yeah, I am getting old. In my day, you walked up to that counter and you ordered from the young lady up there. Yeah, whatever. But service, I guess that's the new trend in service for a lot of things. Everything is sort of self-serve. Even when we were in Freshco, and we got
Freshco is a supermarket.
yeah, we got some wine there because now they can sell that in our grocery stores. They couldn't for years, but now it's all self-serve. Like when you go through, you know, the kiosk thing and scan it, and the guy up there, usually, like if you buy it at Costco, they have to come over, the little lights flashing, and they have to scan that because, you know, I say to them, "My God, you didn't even ask me my age. What are you implying?" But there, the guy at the sort of the monitoring station, I don't know what you would call it, the light went off, and I thought I'm waiting for somebody to come in, and the guy says, "Okay, just thumbs up, bang. So,
Well, they don't have a central terminal in Costco.
oh no, so that's why they
Yeah.
don't do it. But in the Fresh Co they did. So they're not doing that in quilt stores yet.
Well, that's at most of the grocery stores. They have a central terminal for the self checkout.
Yeah, but anyways, but I'm just saying that this is how the world has changed. So when you get somebody who's a human being and actually treats you well, then you are impressed, and then you do want to tip them. Now in the quilt stores, everyone we went to, the people in them couldn't have been nicer to help you out. And you may think that I find that shocking. Yes and no. Most of the time I find the people who work in the quilt stores are all very nice and friendly. But we've had a few experiences over the years where, because we're men, they have been a little bit more leery of us, let's say, until we start whipping out the fabric and the money, and then ka-ching, ka-ching tells them everything that, then they're nice about it. But yeah, they're all very nice in the quilt stores. Lovely people at all of them. Susie is a scream and a half at dancing stitches. She'll kind of talk your ear off, but it's really interesting, and the things she talks about and everything. Really nice people at the Mennonite place, E&E Cloth and Creations. Where else did we go? Windmills. Okay. Always very, very helpful in that one in Cambridge. And where else did we buy fabric? Oh, one place we went and we got fabric, and I'll talk more about it on Tuesday, is I bought fabric at Michael's. Now, I think everybody knows a Michael's, because Michael's are in Canada and the US. But they weren't always associated with fabric. They usually didn't have much. They may have had some fat quarters or a yard of something already prepackaged, and it was usually very ugly. Everybody went to Joann's in the States, and Joann's, of course, closed out. Now, Michael's is supposedly starting to advertise in the States that they have fabric department and all this kind of stuff. But here in Canada, I haven't been in a Michael's for a while, so we went to the one in Cambridge, and yes, they had 2 rows of fabric, 2 short rows. Prices, though, were pretty good. Like $10 for a meter of fabric. Now, the fabric, for the most part, most of it seemed to be made in Pakistan. Yeah, all fabrics are made offshore. Feels okay, though. And I did buy some Christmas and some other, someone mentioned earlier, the yellow stuff. I got that there too. But I thought for that price, I'll give it a shot. There were some fabrics there that were a little bit more expensive, and there was a few that were only $9 a meter, but they were ugly. So I think that was their clearance section. But that's kind of interesting. I have not checked the Michaels that's in my area to see what they have, if they've gone that route or not. But anyways, yeah, but they were very nice in there too. I had a chat with a lady when she was cutting my fabric about 3D printing, because Michaels has started to get at least one model of 3D printer in, and some filament. But their filament price is really good, but it's green. That's all they had was green. And I asked her about that. She said, yeah, we had a lot of other colors before, and they all sold out. And I said, no wonder at that price, like $15.49, which I pay double that on average for filament. So how good a filament it is, I have no idea. I would have bought some if it had been in a different color just to try, but it wasn't. She says, yeah, we had filament before we had the printer, and then everybody came in and bought it all except for the green for some reason. She says, we're waiting for the other stuff to come in. But I guess her husband, she's thinking of buying her husband a 3D printer for Christmas because he's voiced an interest in it. And I said, okay, shouldn't say this because you work here. But she says, no, it's okay. You can tell me. Says, buy Bamboo. Don't buy Creality, because that's the one they had. And they had it's a knockoff. The Creality is just created of the A1. And I says, if it's going to be his first time, a Bamboo works right out of the box. He'll have success with it within the first half hour. With the Creality, maybe not. Don't know that about that particular model. But anyways, they were very nice to talk to as well. So yeah, So overall, the weekend was a good experience. Now, just to finish up, Tuesday, you'll see all the fabrics and hear me talk about them, each one in a little bit more detail. Got this comment. You know how I love to put up, tell about the comments that are just belligerent, stupid, idiotic. Well, this one comes from somebody who's no longer a subscriber. Cindy Zach Ball. And Cindy wrote this. She actually wrote 2 comments, one right after the other. But here's her first one. You should not speak badly about our president. President Trump is the best president I have had in my lifetime. Where is Canada's equal share in supplying, she called it NATO. She meant NATO, with soldiers. Oh, America supplies 1.3 million to NATO, and Canada is under 100,000. Do not speak badly about my president. Okay, she obviously believes everything that comes out of the orange pumpkin's mouth. With that, she's got her facts pretty much wrong. This is Trump fact, not real. Okay, fake news in the whole bit. Then she adds to this, well, now I'm to the part where you say I'm not welcome. She must have been listening in sometimes on this. As I am a Trump supporter, I will not be back. Aw, big crocodile tears. At this point, I think you are not just an idiot, but a fool, too. Well, that may be. But I'm not the one that voted for Trump, even if I could have. Am I? No. Who's the fool? How's that working out for you, honey? But, so I didn't answer her back because I don't on things like this. I just hit the delete key and remove her. And she is now gone for all time. Although I may have removed her after she removed herself. Either way, I don't care. She's gone. That's good. But I am noticing on other channels as well, not necessarily quilting channels, but other ones, where there seems to be this whatever, people out there screeching and praising what Trump is doing now, a little bit more intensely than what they were doing, say, even a couple of months ago. I'm thinking the reason is things aren't going so well in the primaries for the Republicans. And maybe these are people who think if they shout loud enough about Trump as the savior that they think he is, that maybe that's going to boost his popularity, because his popularity now is something like 16%. Like, yeah, I think they said it's the lowest of any president in history. So, you know, I might have my statistics wrong on there, so don't quote me on it. But yeah, I mean, but I get a chuckle out of these ones because they are, and I'm going to say it, and I apologize to anybody on here named Karen. What a Karen on this one, really. So, yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you. Okay, let's finish up with what people have been saying here, and let's see. Rachel says, the fires in Canada are just being shown on UK news. Scary looking. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, if you have to, our forests are huge.
Yes, very huge.
They could actually be bigger than all of the UK. So, I mean, the forests are bigger in the UK. Those fires could be bigger than the UK.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good situation at all. Karen says, I'm not sure about you. Oh, you read that. Arta says, a sidebar. What struck me on your drive to your fabric hop was how clean the freeways look. Yeah.
Well,
we think they're dirty. Well, no, in honest, our freeways are very clean because we have laws against littering.
Yeah, and there are people that drive around on the freeways to collect
stuff. Yeah, to clean stuff up on it. Yeah. Teresa says, back in the day, 1976, my high school geography class took a bus trip to Kentucky. We stayed in the dorms at U of Western Kentucky. That was a big mistake. Think mold on the walls and worse. Well, I said to Walter, when I was laying in the bed trying to sleep. Did you see those stains on the ceiling? How do you think they got there?
I say champagne bottles.
Yeah, okay. Champagne bottles? Maybe. I don't know.
Well, Coke and Mentos.
Yeah. So you don't look at, for the most part, it was very clean. Just don't look at the ceiling on that. Rachel says, you could have got green to make Christmas trees and Christmas related stuff. I did get green.
Well, he has a lot of green.
I already had a lot of green, though. Yeah, I didn't necessarily on this trip buy a lot of green.
Yeah.
In fact, I was trying to stay away from the traditional green-red colors because, I mean, I like them, but, I mean, that's so Christmas past, on that. So I was looking for things a little bit different. Adam says, ooh, I had a message too, Stephen.
Like your message.
Oh, you got one too, did you, Adam? Oh, okay. Adam, oh, do tell Adam, Barb says. Same person, I deleted the comment. Ah, I choose not to engage. Yeah, me too. Yeah, now this makes me think, Adam, I thought, is this being generated by AI? However, I clicked on the picture of the person, how that comes up on it, and it is a legitimate YouTube channel this person has, but they don't do any content. They just use it like storage for, videos they're interested in and put them in playlists kind of a thing. So who knows? I know the one that I had a week or so ago, that one I'm pretty sure was AI generated, or it's people who just are trying to stir the pot, with comments like that. It's scary, Lucy says, that people still believe Trump. Yeah.
Rachel meant this filament for 3D printing.
Oh, sorry. I mean the filament for 3D printing. Yeah, well, I had lots of green. That's in the filament. That's why I didn't need any more of it. So I almost bought it regardless to try it out. But then I thought, I don't know. We'll wait and we'll see about that. Okay, so that's it for us today, people. Thank you for joining us as always, and tune in next week, Monday, for coffee, Monday morning coffee with me. Lots of things to talk about. I want to talk a little bit. I found something else in the news that I didn't put in this segment today, which has to do about a fight that's going on in Canada over our English language and what we should be using and what we shouldn't be using. And it's not just about American spelling either. It has to do with British as well. So it's kind of interesting. So plus there's other things I'm going to show. I am not going to reveal. You might get another quick look at my fabric, but I'm not going to reveal it in full. That's going to happen on Tuesday on the Idiot Quilter. And on So Chatty this week coming up, I have no idea. And then we're back to live, which nobody knows until we know what we'll talk about there. So thanks, everybody. Have a good week coming up.